Boo Kittens, it's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of Miami, Season 7, Episode 15 review. We probably got maybe like 2 more episodes left of this season, and it'll be time to wrap it on up. So, on this week's episode, Lisa asks Larsa to come talk while they're on the cruise, just the two of them, just the two of us. We can make it if we try. And even after Alexia and Marysol and Julia told Larsa, if and when she and Lisa have a conversation, to not bring up the past, of course she did it anyway, because Larsa has to be the victim in the situation. Like, she is not the perpetrator, she is the victim. And she get to bringing up everything that Lisa has done to hurt her little poor feelings. And you could tell that Lisa was very annoyed by this and that she wanted to clap back. But I think at this point, she just like, girl, you can have it. You can have it. So at the end of the conversation, they end up making up. They end up hugging it out. Does their truce last? Obviously, no, considering where they're at right now. Then, on another area of the cruise ship, Kiki and Julia are out sunbathing. Well, Kiki is getting some vitamin D for her cootie cat. And got her legs spread wide open for anybody to see, child. Even though she did have on a bathing suit, it was still like, ma'am, this ain't a private cruise ship. Like, there's other people around, but okay. But Alexia and all the other girls, minus Lisa and Larsa, joined them. And Kiki asked Stephanie and Alexia if they want to talk, because, you know, they had their little tiffs. And Alexia says to Stephanie, I feel like I always get blamed for everything. And it was really Marysol that was so adamant about me not going on the plane. And you just let her off the hook. And I was like, ooh. Marysol, she threw you under the bus, ma'am. She rolled over you and backed up and then rolled over you again. Like, one thing about it, Alexia ain't got no problems spilling the beans on anything that got to do with Marysol. But Marysol, I feel like, is a little bit more loyal to Alexia, where she wouldn't have dimed on her like that. But Alexia ain't got no problem, which should tell you a lot about the dynamics of that friendship and who relies on who more. And Stephanie was just like, how about we talk about this at another time, just me and you, or whatever. So they did the conversation, but you could tell right then and there that Marysol was looking like, is my cover about to be blown? Because, you know, she likes to stir the spot, she likes to stir the pot, and she is a busybody, and I have not seen it for Marysol at all during this reboot of the show. The ladies then, I don't know if this was the same day or the next day, they go to do a spa day on the cruise ship, and it was a room where they could do a cold plunge, a hot plunge, lie on warm marble slabs and get massages and foot rubs and everything. It was a moment, right? And Adriana is sulking. She's been sulking pretty much the whole trip. She's like off to herself or whatever. And Gertie goes and checks on her to see how she's doing. And they end up having a conversation where Gertie reveals that she's going to do solo therapy to deal with all her childhood traumas and everything. And Adriana was like, I think that's a great idea for you to do that. I think that's going to be so helpful for you and everything. And then we see Stephanie and Alexia go and talk in, I think like the sauna or somewhere. And Stephanie tells Alexia that she thought her and Marysol were her safe space, since they left the dinner with her that night, but learned the next day that they weren't coming on the plane, and was, you know, told by Julia that they all felt like she was bossy and she don't know how to talk to people. Like, she really thought she was building a friendship with them after that night. And Alexia tells her that Marysol was the one that was mad that she went to lunch with Adriana and that she had a lot to say pretty much about Stephanie. So now Stephanie like, now wait a minute, because I just had a conversation with Marysol myself and she tried to act like it wasn't even nothing like that. Like she was just, feeling some type of way about one thing. But now I'm finding out she had a lot to say about me. But you could tell like she's thinking about all this in her head, but she's not saying it out loud to Alexia. But now she's starting to put two and two together that Marysol is the op. Alexia then tells Steph that she actually did want to go and that she really didn't want to hurt her feelings by not going on the plane. Stephanie says, that Alexia reminds her a lot of her sisters who she doesn't speak to. And then Alexia reveals that she also didn't speak to her sister. And that they just, I guess, recently started trying to work on their relationship, which was a shock to Stephanie because she didn't even know she had a sister. And hell, I didn't even know Alexia had a sister or siblings, period, because we've never seen her talk about anybody in her family. And she breaks down crying about, her strained relationship with her sister. And Stephanie was like, well, how about we be the sisters for each other that we don't talk to? And once again, they just realized that they actually do have a lot in common with their mannerisms, their personality traits, and everything else. I don't think that Stephanie is as nasty as Alexia, but they do have a lot of similarities. They really do. But I think that Stephanie has more of a heart than Alexia. At dinner that night, Marysol asked Stephanie and Alexia, did they argue when they had their little one-on-one? And they was like, no, we didn't argue. And the same question is asked to Larsa and Lisa. And they was like, no, we didn't argue. And Marysol acting like she's so happy that everybody is getting along. But low key, I feel like she was disappointed that they didn't argue. So then after that, the ladies surprised Adriana with a birthday cake. And everything is going so good. Like she's happy. She's smiling. She's just, thankful that the girls even thought about her enough to do something until she looked down on the cake and saw that whoever put it together asked him to put happy birthday and then did a math equation that equaled her age, which is 59. And she was looking like, really, bitch? Really? This is what we doing? This is what y'all trying to play in my face? So she literally just wiped that part of the cake off and went on about her business and they kicked it. Speaking of gifts, T-Squad, watch as me and my brother unbox this gorgeous ottoman that I received from Madison Park. Madison Park is a retailer that specializes in furniture and other home goods. I was so excited when they reached out to me and I was able to go on their website and pick out this gorgeous ottoman. It is called the Ferris Oval Ottoman, you guys, and it is stunning. I had no idea that it was going to be this big, but it is an oversized and unexpected shape. The Ferris Ottoman will blend into many different decors. Its thick welting and center button are topped off with a charcoal gray flannel fabric. No assembly is required, as you all see. The shipping process was so quick, you guys. I did not expect it to get to my house as quick and fast as it did, but I was happy to receive it when the delivery man knocked on my door and dropped it off on my doorstep. Once we got it open and saw that it looked exactly like the photograph on the website, I was blown away by the quality. Y'all, it is sturdy. It is thick, honey. It has the feet on the bottom, so you won't be doing a bunch of rocking and slipping and sliding everywhere. Look at the lining on it, the detail work, the big button. This is phenomenal. I could not be more pleased with this. I had never even heard of Madison Park until they reached out to me, but now they will be a go-to for me whenever I do any home decor shopping. And guess what, T-Squad? You know your girl got a code for you. If you guys use my code IMMP20, you will receive 20% off your purchase. Yes, the link will be down below in the description box. Y'all, do not sleep. Run over right now to madisonpark.com and place your order using my coupon code IMMP20. Thank me later, and thank you again to Madison Park for gifting me this gorgeous ottoman. I want to know which one of them shady did that to her. It had to be Marysol. Had to be Marysol or Alexia. Hell, now I wouldn't put it past Julia to do some mess like that. So they get back to Miami after they were already in Miami. And Gertie goes to therapy about her childhood. And she talks about how when she came over here to America, how her parents just dropped her and her brother off at a family member's house that she never met before for 3 months. I guess with like no communication or whatever. They were treated like the ugly stepkids, like, here, go sit over there, be seen and not heard type of situation. And it had to be very traumatizing, very scary, because you just get dropped off somewhere. You don't know these people. You're in a foreign country. Your parents aren't around. You don't know who to talk to, who to trust. All you got is your brother. You know, that had to be very traumatizing to a child to then think, is my parents ever coming back? Is this my life moving forward? Like, that's a lot to deal with. And then she said when she started to go to school, the kids couldn't pronounce her name and she got made fun of because of that. So she's dealt with a lot of bullying and things. And she said that the incident with Julia took her back to her childhood, you know, and I could see the correlation right there. And the therapist says, you know, as we continue to do this, the more we'll delve into the experiences and things that you've gone through, the traumas. And Gertie admits that she's afraid to go deeper because of the resentment towards her parents will come up. And she doesn't really want to face that and acknowledge that because she knows that she will never, ever have the courage to tell them how they let her down. She has too much respect to do that. But hopefully, prayerfully, through therapy, she will be able to find a way to sit down and have that conversation with them where she lets them know her feelings, but you can still do that in a respectful way, you know, and whether they acknowledge it or not, at least she will be able to tell her feelings, you know, and I really pray that she's able to deal with that and come to some kind of conclusion and closure. Then finally, at the end of the episode, Stephanie and Adriana link up because Stephanie has hired Adriana to perform at her Christmas party event at that food court place that she owns or whatever. And they sit down and have a little, you know, talk and eat. And Stephanie tells her that Marysol was upset when they had lunch. And Adriana was like, see, like, I told you, like, that's so petty and childish. Stephanie then goes on to tell her that Alexia said, basically verbatim, Marysol is behind it. I'm just her mouthpiece. And Adriana was like, I've been saying it for years. I've been saying this for years, but nobody wanted to listen to me. Nobody. And Steph says, you know, I know what I'm going against now. And if she come for me, she better make sure that she hit her target, because when I hit back, I'm hitting hard. And the episode goes off. And so it looks like we're winding down to the season finale episode, which I'm excited about. It's time to wrap this season up. Okay, I'm ready for the reunion. I'm ready to see what went down, and I'm glad that Stephanie is peeping game when it comes to Marysol, because Marysol is a slithering snake. Okay, she is a snake, has been, always will be. I think that Alexia and Stephanie will continue to have a love-hate relationship with each other. I don't think that they'll ever be able to fully get along, because neither one of them is going to allow the other one to talk crazy to them, get smart, or neither one of them are going to be willing to back down from the other. So I think there always will be this butting heads thing with the two of them. I do love the closeness that has brewed between Adriana and Gertie. I really am loving the friendship that they're forging. I saw, as I watched this week's episode, moments where Gertie and Stephanie look like they were building a solid rapport with one another. So I think that they have a really dope relationship as well. And I really like seeing that. I also like seeing Lisa and Gertie and Adriana growing closer. I like that little click right there. I really honestly do. You know, them other three heifers can go on somewhere. And as of right now, how I feel about Stephanie, I like Stephanie. You know, is she pretentious? Yeah. Does she brag too much? Yes. But I think at the core, her is a nice person. And there are attributes of her that remind me of me, you know. I like her for the most part. For the most part, I enjoy her. Kiki was a letdown so far for me this season. Very disappointed in her, and very disappointed in the interviews that I've seen of that she's done post production. Ain't really felt that at all. But I'm going to give this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Miami a C plus. It was cute. It was cute. And make sure you guys check out